OK。
电动玩具。
哦。Whoa!
Ah! No! 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 No!
你笑得真开心。
欢迎来到我的频道。教会在训练这个消防的知识，特别请了 United Fire 来跟我们讲解。因为很早，所以童工还准备了一些点心，我们就来看看这些点心吧。
有 Starbucks 的 coffee， 有 Krispy Kreme 的 donut， 还有各种可爱的 muffin。然后，哎呀，这种日子太舒适了。
Instructor 是 Simon， 以前是 firefighter， 他们这一次来做我们的 inspection， 顺便开了一堂课来讲解我们教会这些灭火器各种使用的方式，跟如何辨别跟确认这些灭火器都是符合标准。我们就来看看它的内容吧。
Let me just warn you, this extinguisher, the reason I use it is because it doesn't leave any residue. You only have one of these, and I bought it today, and it's going to be upstairs in the audio area up there, okay? All the other ones have a different chemical in it, so this has a gas in it, the others have a chemical in it, and you don't want to do what I just did because you're going to make a mess, okay? So if there's a fire, yes, you use it, but don't just play around with it like I do with this one, because this one doesn't leave a mess, and so it's good for demonstration purposes. Okay, so that thing tells me that this extinguisher is ready, so I can leave that one. So the most common type of fire extinguisher is going to be this guy. It's called an ABC fire extinguisher, and the reason it's the most common one is because different types of fires have different classifications. So if it's a wood fire, it's a class wood, cardboard, paper, it's class A. If it's a fire that involves liquids or fuel, gas, gasoline, then it's a class B. And then if it's electronic, anything that plugs into an outlet, that's class C. So this extinguisher covers 3 different types of fires. This extinguisher only covers 2. And so the different extinguishers for different types of fires, and the fires are all determined by what is burning. Is it metals? Is it fuel? Is it paper? Is it wood? Is it electrical? Is it grease, kitchen grease? All of those things have different fire extinguishers for them. Now, in a commercial setting like this, when you have a company like United Fire that comes in, we put the extinguishers where they need to be so that if you have to use them, you're using the right one. If you didn't have the right one, you should always give it a go with it, unless it's electrical, because you don't want to make sure you don't get electrocuted when you squirt something on it, okay? So this is the most common one. You have these throughout your facility here. You have one in a cabinet when you walk right in the door. Right on the left-hand side, there's one. And then there's going to be another one. I brought another one. We're going to put another one here. And then downstairs, you see a lot, okay? They're usually in a cabinet or on a hook. They can't be left on the ground, and they have to be at least 4 inches off the ground and no more than 5.5 feet off the ground, okay? And the reason, a lot of times people take them off the hook and use it to open a door, prop a door open, may not put it back, and that's a problem if someone has to use it, because they think, oh yeah, it should be on the wall, and then there's an empty hook, and they don't see it. So, in order for a fire extinguisher to be compliant with the code, it has to have some things on it. It has to have this, what we call a pictogram, and a pictogram shows you how to use the fire extinguisher. Now you're going to learn how to do it, and you're going to do it today. I have an electronic simulator here, and we will do that later on, so everybody will have a shot of that and see how to do it. But this one shows you, and it's quite simple. It says pull the pin and hold the unit upright. It says then stand back about 8 feet, aim at the base of the fire. A lot of people try to put the fire out by spraying the flame, but you actually have to spray what is burning on the base. If you spray that, then the whole thing will go out. If you spray the flame, it's not going to do anything to the fire, okay? And then the third thing is you squeeze the handles together, and then you sweep from side to side. Yep, she's getting it. Look at that. Perfect. Well done. Good job. Okay. It also has a picture that shows you what types of fires to use it on. Okay. Now, again, if you're here, you shouldn't have to worry. You're just going to grab the fire extinguisher, and you can use it because they're being put in the correct place. If you have it at home, again, the same thing. You just buy an extinguisher designed for your home, and then you'll be okay as well. All right. It has to have a UL listing which says that it's being tested, so that the cylinder here, it's got pressure in it, and so it's being tested so that the cylinder could hold the pressure, okay? Because you don't want it exploding or something or cracking. It has to have a serial number, and it has to have a date of birth. In this case, it's 2022. They put it on the bottom. These guys here, this brand puts it over here, and then it also has to tell you what's in it. Now, it has it in English and Spanish. Unfortunately, not in Korean or something else, which would have been helpful, okay? I looked to see if there was, but actually, I told Chinese, I did actually see there was, because forklifts, a lot of forklifts are made in Asia, and they come with a fire extinguisher, but they have to throw the fire extinguisher away here because it doesn't have the UL listing on it because they don't have underwriters laboratory over there. So that's what has to happen here. It has to have a gauge on it, and the gauge has an area which is it's red, and then there's a green area with a yellow arrow. If the yellow arrow needs to be in the green for it to work primo, the best way. If it's not, it's a bit like a garden hose. If you had a garden hose and you turn it on, water comes shooting out, right? No problem. But if you put a kink in the hose, then the water doesn't come out as well. The same thing. It still works, it just doesn't work as well, okay? If you came across an extinguisher where the yellow needle wasn't in the green, then you go to see Tom, and then Tom would switch it out with a replacement. It has to have a pin, okay? The pin holds the two handles apart. So in this case, if I put the pin back in here, and I squeeze the handles, I wave it around, nothing happens. But as soon as I pull the pin out, and I put any pressure on the top handle, off it goes, okay? And then, if I can put the pin back in, squeeze the handle, nothing happens, all right? So the pin is important. In order to keep the pin in, we have these little things, we call them a tamper seal, and the tamper seal holds the pin in place so that if you knocked it, or you're carrying it, the pin won't fall out. If you go to use it, all you're gonna do is you twist this off. You can either twist this handle off like this, so if you want to, you can just twist it and it breaks away, or you can put your finger into the loop of the pin, put your thumb on the handle, and pull your finger, and then out it comes through. Okay? Thank you very much. Now, you will see that on these extinguishers, like this one has a red tag, this one has a yellow tag. Every year, when we service these extinguishers, we come in, when Tom brings us in, and we come in to service them, we put a different color on. The reason so is so that if you were walking around and you see two different colors, you may want to check to see if one got missed getting inspected the year before. So that's why we use different colors there. In our company, we use red, yellow, and white, and we just rotate them around. Other companies, they put the date on them, and you'll see all different varieties of it. Yes? Yes?
Regardless different color, they are all inspected within the right range, supposedly.
So they're all inspected every 12 months, and then this is how you can tell if they're inspected. So it has has a label that attaches to it, and on it tells you it'll be punched, and it'll punch what type of extinguisher it is, what year it was done, what month it was done, and whether it was serviced or if it was new, and then this will be attached to the extinguisher.
We don't need to worry about it.
You don't have to worry about this, but if you came across one here and it didn't have one of these, you let Tom know, and then because ideally what happens on this side is it's an area for you to write the date, and Tom comes and signs it, puts his initials, so he checked it once a month, okay? That's really important to do, especially because you have people from the community come in here, and you may have a kid that plays with it, or downstairs, all those classrooms, kid could play with it, and we just want to make sure that they're in working condition, so if you had to use it, it's fine, okay? And then every year, we would replace this as well.
其他的重点，例如灭火器不要放在厨房洗水槽的下面，最好的地方是不要放在厨房，而是放在你跟逃生门的附近。另外一点就是也可以选择用 fire blanket， 你在 Amazon 就可以找到，大概是2个，大概40-50块，什么人都可以使用，不需要训练。直接把 fire 铺上去就可以熄掉这个火，这些都是一个非常好的建议。然后到了最后，他还有准备这个 fire 的 simulator， 然后让我们来试试如何使用这个 fire extinguisher， 然后每一个人都试得非常有趣。我们就来看看这个试些 fire simulator 的过程吧。No!
你笑得真开心。
Oh, you didn't get it? Do it again? Who do you want to get?
只要试试看，会不会试试看？
Where do you go?
然后那个氧气出来，让它回来。
Alright, now here's the end. So this is what it sounds like when it gets to the end.
OK。
然后对了，哎，
对，
有往那个对，好，哎呀，
扣半下，扣那个，
要按上，关上啊，都不行。
Lower, bit lower. Whoa!
不要拿手压。
边压上边来，
Twist it,
手
twist it.
是从上边
不能夹，不能夹那个。
对，使劲扒，使劲，哎对，就出来，然后
夹那个就拔不出来了。
Get a bit closer.
Keep going all the way.
All right.